having a plan is fantastic, but the plan's not going to produce any results if you're not sticking to the plan and executing on it consistently, even when the results aren't immediate. I promise you, 3 to 6 months from now, you're going to start seeing those results.
What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What's your plan?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Rebel Show. I'm Bree Mesquit, and today I'm going over the 9 things that you can be doing for your business during a slow season. So slow seasons are inevitable regardless of what industry it is that you're in, but we definitely experience them in the beauty industry. So I have 9 things that you guys can be focusing on and doing to not only get yourself through the slow season and maybe help bring in some additional clients, but also get prepared for the busy season that's right around the corner, and just make sure we're always doing things for our business to keep moving in a forward motion. All right, so thing number 1 is you can definitely consider offering promotions or discounts. So you might consider having seasonal discounts. Also, I really want you guys to start getting in the habit of tracking everything and documenting everything that happens in your business. So if you are new, and this is something I did not do at the beginning and I really wish I would have done, is starting to just document. So say, I don't know, I'm in January, like we're past New Year's, and I realize like, okay, I'm having a little bit of a slow time right now. And it's easy during that time to go into panic mode and be like, oh my God, my business is failing. I'm going under, like I better have a plan B. It's like, no, that these are the ebbs and flows of the industry and of our business. But how are you supposed to learn those ebbs and flows and then be able to, first of all, recognize the pattern and then also prepare for that for the following year? So now I personally know after the new year, we tend to slow down for a little bit, and it's a little bit slow from like New Year's until getting prepared for like Valentine's Day. So then I know, okay, this is my 2-3 weeks that are going to tend to be a little bit slower. I can start to see the pattern because now I'm documenting it. So in 2020, it was slow. 2021, it was slow. 2022, it was like, okay, now I'm seeing the pattern. January to February tends to be slow. So I need you guys to start getting in that habit of documenting everything as well. And then we can look forward and be more prepared. So you might consider seasonal discounts. Some of the promotions can be maybe a new client discount that you offer for a little while. That might be something you have available all the time, or maybe you just have available during your slow times. Maybe you tend to have a slower day of the week. So you offer on Wednesdays 20% off of a Brazilian or something, or bring a friend for 20% off to try to get in additional clients. You can do something like that. You can also have like a like a free offer. So maybe you do a free add-on. So during a slower time, you can offer each Brazilian comes with maybe a take-home retail product for free. Or maybe you do an upgrade of a free hydrogelly mask where you normally charge $20, $25 as an add-on, but now you're offering it for free. So that could be something that you consider. Also, make sure during these slower times, you can also set up your referral programs or your loyalty program. So maybe you're doing some of the back end stuff on that. Maybe you're creating the loyalty cards and the punch cards. Everything's so digital now too that you can be researching maybe what apps you want to use for your loyalty program or your referral program. How is it that you're going to track this? What is it even going to be? Is it going to be send me 3 people, get one for free? You can start working through all this stuff that you don't necessarily have time to be working on during your really busy season. So that is thing number 1 that you could be doing. Thing number 2 is going to be focusing on client retention. So this is something we really should be focusing on always, encouraging them to book their next appointment before they leave. You can also offer like a slight discount, like, hey, you'll save 5% off if you pre-book with me before you leave. So that's something that you really want to be focusing on and get in the reps and the practice with this. Start utilizing different like scripts and things that you say in order to encourage your clients to pre-book. Test the waters during these slow seasons. See what scripts tend to work best. What do people respond to the best and actually end up pre-booking? Take note. Again, documentation is everything. Take note of that so that during your busy season, you revert. You're not practicing this anymore and trying to figure out what works and doesn't work. You've already figured that out during your slow season. Now, during your busy season, you just have it down. You have the routine down. As soon as you go to check them out, you say whatever it is that had been working, and you continue to focus on pre-booking and keeping that steady flow of clients coming in on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis. Another thing that you can be doing is, and I encourage you guys to be doing, especially with first-time clients, it's following up. So we're really diving in on going deep with our current clientele as well. Okay. We're not always wanting to focus on widening, which going wide, which would be equivalent to gaining new clients. We also want to really be focusing on going deep, which means providing an even better experience and level of customer service for your current clients as well. So that's what I mean by going deep. Going deep is focusing on your current clientele base. Going wide is increasing your clientele base. Okay, so I'm a really big fan of making sure to go deep, and that's something that I'm actually currently implementing in my business right now. We're preparing for a trade show in Long Beach, and one of the things that I've been talking to my team about is I'm wanting to really go deeper with our current customers, make them feel seen, understood, providing value, and just coming in and being whoever it is that they need us to be in this present moment based on their goals. So I would never know those goals if I'm not going deep, having communication and following up and checking in with our customers. So follow up is going to be something huge to start practicing in your slow season. Again, finding that routine and then implementing it throughout your busy season, but you already have that structure in place and you already have the practice. Another thing for increasing client retention too could be throwing a client appreciation event. So maybe you do like a little event where you do a few mini complimentary free services. So I would do something like maybe have some appetizers and maybe cocktails if you want to do that, or some sort of mocktails or something provided, some appetizers, and then maybe do free brow waxes or free facial waxing. So maybe they can choose like an upper lip or a brow, or I don't know. So you guys can tailor it to your business. You'll better know your client base, but that's something that you can consider. Even having like product samples, and encouraging your current clients to bring a friend along with them. Maybe you partner up and collab with another service provider nearby. Maybe they're going to be interested in doing a free service as well. Maybe you partner up with a hairstylist that can throw in some free like tinsel in people's hair or something. And then you're cross promoting to each other's clientele bases because you're bringing in your current clients for a free appreciation event. They're bringing in theirs, and you're also encouraging each one of those clients to be bringing a friend. So now you're gaining that much more exposure, not only from your current clientele base, but theirs as well. So that would be something I'd highly encourage. And that could be even a fun thing to do on like a quarterly or maybe like twice a year or something, like even once a year. That could be something really fun, but make sure to plan that during a slow season, because something like that's going to take time and effort, and it's going to cost a little bit. It's more, you're paying more in your time, but you can't afford to take that time away during the busy season because you're going to be making more money by actually providing services. So this is something to save for those slow seasons, but it's really going to help amp up and bring in new clients and then make your busy season even busier and hopefully help mitigate your slower seasons from being so slow. Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. For those of you who are already using and loving Rebel Wax in your treatment room, I wanted to provide you with the opportunity to save an additional 10% on top of the 10% we already give for our subscribe and save customers. If you would like to never worry about inventory issues again, then head to our website website, lashandwaxoc.com. Use the code The Rebel Show, all one word, to save an additional 10% off for a total of 20% off your first subscribe and save. Now back to the show. The third thing that you can be working on during a slow season is going to be enhancing your marketing efforts. So this was one of my favorite things to do personally, because during my busy season, I would have so many ideas on marketing or content that I wanted to create, but I just literally did not have the time or capacity to get it done. So I would have a notepad in my phone and make sure that every time I had an idea pop up, I was writing it down, and then I would start implementing those things and executing on them during the slow season. So maybe I wanted to upgrade and update my business card. Maybe I wanted to make some pamphlets with the list of all my services and the prices. Maybe I needed to do a little back-end work on my website, or even reevaluate my services and my pricing and maybe make some adjustments. So this is the time to really do what would be kind of like more like busy work. You want to be able to utilize this time to implement those things. So make sure you have a running list of like your things to do, and then categorize them. So make sure you have kind of your marketing and your finances and operations. Make sure that you categorize those. Also, make sure you guys are utilizing email marketing. So with your online booking system, and if you don't utilize online booking yet, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to. I recently, probably the last like 3 to 6 months, have been seeing the value in email marketing and building your email list. You guys, for so long, I was dependent just on Instagram for sales, not only for bringing in my clients and building my clientele base, but now that I'm product focused, for product sales as well. I don't own Instagram. Instagram can be taken away and shut down tomorrow. And then what? My business would have completely gone under. But now that I started working with my business coach, one of the things that he was really adamant about was that I was building my own email list, because now I own that list, and it's a direct way for me to directly communicate with my customer base or with my clients. So I want you guys to make sure that you are building that email list as well, so that you can directly communicate with your clients without depending on a third party. The third party being Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever it is that you are marketing your and depending on for bringing in new clients. So that's something that maybe you start writing out some email copy. Now, what's copy? It's just the text of the email. If you guys have heard the term copywriting, like that's what it is. It's your captions. It's the text within your emails. So that's something that I'm kind of been working on now too. You can be sending out newsletters to your clients of like special offers, maybe seasonal tips, especially those of you who are like lash artists, right? We go through a spring and fall shed. So you can explain what that is to your clients. Hey, like during these times, you're going to notice your retention isn't as great. You might want to come in a little bit more often for a fill. If you're providing waxing services, maybe you put out a newsletter about the summertime and how, going to the pool or the beach within 24 hours after a wax could cause some issues, and like aftercare tips, and just almost what you're going to be emailing your clients would be very similar to what it is that you're posting on social media, but you're just directly speaking to your clients. So that could be something you really start working on during those slower seasons. It's not only building that list, but starting the communication with that like avenue of communication. You'd use it. I wish I would have done that a lot sooner. And I did start using that with clients when I was traveling, but when we moved up here to Oregon and I was traveling back and forth between here and Orange County. Before, I used to just depend on me putting a post out, letting people know when I was going to be at my salon in Orange County and to book an appointment. And it did fine. But once I started emailing or even using text, like marketing, which is available on most of our online booking sites as well. And I would give them like a week or two notice. Hey guys, I'm going to be in town these dates. Like make sure to book your appointment before it's too late, blah, blah, blah. I would be fully booked 100% every single trip. So building your email list is really, really important. You might even consider doing some local partnerships and collabs. Like maybe you go talk to a local gym or other salons with non-competing services, maybe a clothing boutique or something. So you could offer a discount to their customers that they can pass along. And that could be something you do during your slower season as well. All right. The fourth thing that you can be working on is upskilling. So expanding your services, maybe improving on your technique. You could be focused. Maybe you haven't had time to complete my free 6-week course because you've been so busy with clients. Now you can actually spend some time working through that and up-leveling your technique. And with doing that, making sure you're expanding your education, continuing to get better. Then during the busy season, you very well may be setting yourself up to being able to increase your pricing as well. Maybe give yourself a little raise. So continued education during a slower season is a really, really, really great use of your time, 100%. You can also maybe attend some trade shows and go to the free workshops that are available. There's a lot of free education available too. So if you don't have the funds to be able to maybe invest in continued education, utilize the free resources that are available to you as well. You could be also expanding like your product knowledge. So maybe you take some classes about product knowledge, especially if you're providing like facials and things like that. Maybe diving deeper into ingredients. Again, just expanding your knowledge and increasing your level of expertise. Thing number 5 that you can be working on is going to be optimizing your business operations. So maybe you want to reevaluate like how you onboard a new client. Are you sending a pre-text, like a welcome text to them, and kind of setting them up for like what to expect with their service, how to best prep? Are you being consistent with your follow-up with new clients? Are you being consistent with offering and making sure that your memberships and packages are known? Maybe you've been struggling with inventory and you realize you keep running out of stuff, and then you're panicking trying to buy things last minute. Maybe during the slow season, you reevaluate that. And then you figure out how you can fix this issue. So maybe it's you do a subscribe and save with us so that you have your wax automatically coming every 30, 60, 90, or 120 days, whatever it is that you choose. But maybe that's the solution to that issue. Maybe you create a spreadsheet in some sort of system to where when you're down to one bag, you know it's time to order, like whatever it is that you need to optimize your business operations. So that's why I mentioned earlier, you want to take notes on, you're going to have different categories: your sales and marketing, your operations, and then finances. So maybe finance is something you have to look over. Maybe you're reviewing your prices or going through your website with a fine-tooth comb and making any corrections or little mistakes. The things that you know are sitting there, you just haven't had time to attack and do. Now's the time to do it. So during your busy seasons, write down all the issues and the things that you're running into, the problems you're running into, so that during your slow season, you can really sit down and intentionally come up with solutions and new systems and new processes for those issues that you have been running into. The 6th thing that you can do is host an event or host a workshop. So I know we talked about the client event, but maybe you do some sort of like educational workshop for people. Especially if you do like facials and stuff, you can have like a workshop where you're teaching about different products based on different skin concerns that people have, what it is that you recommend for them, what ingredients work on what. You could do something like that. And then you can also have the products there available for them to purchase. You could do an open house event where clients can come in, anyone locally in the community can come in and tour your space. They can meet you. They can learn more about your services, ask any questions, and like a chill, relaxed environment. So it kind of goes more to like continued brand recognition as well, just making sure your business is known and that people can find you. All right, the 7th thing that you can be doing is focusing on content creation. This is one of my favorite things to do during a slow season because it directly helps bring in revenue and make your brand and your services known. So you all, again, just make sure that you're constantly writing down ideas as they come to you, because Even this podcast episode, I had this idea. Okay, so this is how I used to do podcasts. I would have an idea and then I kept it in my mind. I was like, oh, I won't forget. This is such a great idea because it was top of mind in the moment. And then come filming day, I was like, wait, what was it that I wanted to talk about? So now I've really trained myself. As soon as I have an idea, I write it down. Even I recently did a marathon, and during my marathon, I thought of 13 different lessons. Go back and watch that episode if you haven't watched it yet. It's a 2-parter. It's kind of long, but it's packed with a lot of value. In that episode, or during my marathon, I was thinking of all these lessons, and I was like, I don't have a pen and paper on me. Like, there's no way but I knew that I needed to get those thoughts written down or documented in some way. Because at the end of the marathon or the next day, when I used to tell myself, oh, you'll still remember, like, I would completely forget. So what I did is I pulled out my phone, and I literally, as I was on the trail on a part that I was walking, I just talked to my phone, took a video of myself. And then when I was outlining that episode, I was just watching back my video and then writing out my bullet points. So you really want to make sure that you are documenting everything, documenting your ideas, so that when it's time to execute on them, it's already outlined and written for you. Blogging could be a great thing too. This is something that's not utilized as much anymore, but there's still a lot of value in it. So if you're someone who naturally likes to write, then maybe you start writing out a few blog posts and you commit to putting out a blog post a week. And if you are in a slow season, you could easily get through maybe 12 blogs that you write out. And then now you're set up for the next 3 months. And those are great ways to, again, go a little bit deeper with your clients and just provide a lot of value to them. All right. And then you can also do video content, of course. So you can maybe get some clients in at an extremely discounted price and film it so that you're gaining more content. I would definitely make this one of the top things that you focus on during those slower seasons, is creating more content, because the content directly helps bring your top line, revenue up and increase that like, no, trust factor, and just increase eyes on your business, which in turn then encourages people to actually want to book and receive a service from you. All right. The 8th thing that you can be doing is, and I've already touched on this, but making sure you're planning for that busy season. So all the things that we've already covered really are planning again for that next busy season. So you can develop like your marketing calendar and plan out your future events, promotions, your social media campaigns, whatever it is for the upcoming busy season. So you can look ahead and know, like right now, as we're filming this, we're in August. So I can foresee coming up, like we have, I don't know, people usually like to get waxed before Halloween. I know Thanksgiving's coming up and Thanksgiving break. That tends to be a busy time. Right before Christmas and New Year's can be really busy. So right now during a slower season, maybe I'm planning out what my promotions are going to be for Christmas, or what my schedule, maybe I'm going to extend my schedule, or maybe you need to shorten your schedule during those times because you're personally busy and celebrating with your family as well. And then you can prep your clients for that. Hey, December's right around the corner. I tend to get really busy before Christmas. So get your appointments on the book. So email your list, your client list, and share with them those promotions. And then you're being more intentional too, because I see a lot of people when they're new and they're slow, they start throwing out a lot of promotions in a panic because they're trying to get people in. But as you continue on and you've been in business for a couple years and we're documenting, like I was talking about, I need you guys to start documenting these things. You can foresee these times. And then now you're pre-planning your promotions, and it doesn't come across to your client as desperation and as if you're panicking because you're not making it. And then it just seems like, it drives down that confidence factor in you with your clients when you're like constantly putting out deals. It just looks really desperate, and then it really does lower their confidence in you. So pre-plan for that busy season. Now, if you are someone who has staff now and you're building a team, this is a great time. And most of you watching this probably aren't quite there yet. But keep this in mind for the future. Maybe you have a goal of opening up your own salon, or maybe you have a small team, like a social media manager, maybe a receptionist or something. This could be a great time for staff training as well. So if you're slow, that means your team's probably a little bit slower. So again, just going back to utilizing this time for education, utilize it for your team as well. And then just client data review. So go over past trends, peak times, popular services. Maybe you want to reevaluate your services and see like, okay, the past 6 months, this service has only been booked twice. Like it's time to take this off of my service menu. So just reevaluating all the data that you've collected during the busy season. All right, last and not least is engaging with your community. So you can participate in community events. Maybe they have local like street market fairs. You can set up a little booth and do like free brow waxing or something. You can have some product samples available, or even just attending like meetups. So I know there's meetup.com. So find a hobby that you actually enjoy. Like for us, it's archery. So maybe you can spend a little bit more time going to the archery range, or I don't know, maybe you have a dachshund. I have a dachshund, so that's the first thing that came to mind. Maybe there's a local dachshund meetup group where a bunch of people get together with their dachshunds and go for a walk or something. Like engage with people so that you have the opportunity to again bring more brand awareness and just engage with your local community and people so that. And the point isn't always for them to be the ones to book the appointment with you. It's that you're now top of mind. So say their brother, sister, whoever comes in like, hey, I've been really thinking about trying a Brazilian wax. They'll be like, oh my God, know what? I just met this girl, Jessica, we went and took our dogs for a walk and she was really sweet. And I know she has a waxing business. I'll give you her contact. So it's really about, again, just making yourself known. Like you need to make yourself findable. Okay. There are people out there that are looking for you and looking for what it is that you provide. But if they can't find you, then you're never going to gain them as a client. So engaging with your community, meeting more people, getting your name top of mind is a great utilization of your time during a slow season. And what I really want to encourage you guys to is a lot of these things that you're doing during the slow season do not produce immediate results. So you still might be in that panic of, oh my gosh, it's not working. Like I need to increase my revenue. I'm like really tight this month. But a lot of times the results of our efforts don't show up for like 3 to 6 months. And I can use my weight loss as a prime example. The results of my efforts from month 1 to even 6 didn't really start showing up until month 6. It wasn't until about month 6 that I had people that I've, see on a daily basis be like, oh my gosh, have you lost weight? They're seeing the results now. So it's the same thing in anything. Like I'm reaping what I sowed 6 months ago. All the habits and the consistency that I've put in for the past 6 months, I'm finally like cashing out on. So you guys, I really want, and I know you've heard me say this in other episodes, it's really about focusing on that long game, okay? Not always the short-term, immediate, instant gratification that we've been so accustomed to wanting. But believe me, the 3 month from now you or the 6 month from now you is going to be very grateful to the current you for creating the habits, building the basics, and keeping course and staying consistent. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope this was helpful. I know it can be really stressful when things slow down and your bank account is looking a little sad, but you can be proactive in making sure that you are growing and building a really sustainable, profitable business for yourself, okay? But it is going to take you putting in the hard work and the effort. This isn't for the weak. Entrepreneurship is a difficult road, but it's a rewarding one as well. All right, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Please make sure to subscribe. 99% of you that tune in every week are not subscribed. It would really help me out if you could subscribe. I have a goal to help as many beauty professionals as possible. So if you can join me in on that effort, I would highly appreciate it. And you can do that by subscribing and sharing any episodes that you find value from. All right, guys, I will see you back next week.